Hello, guys. Welcome to our unnamed podcast. We actually today just came up with a name, and upon further investigation, I discovered that an Onlyfans manager already has it. So Thank you for taking everything from us once again. This is our first podcast episode, and I'm so excited because I definitely had my own failed podcast, and I realized that I didn't want to do a podcast on my own. And
I was on every other week at this point.
Yeah, and she's just like my other half. And so
I love you.
Here we are. Leila, are you excited?
Yeah, I've been wanting to do something like this for a really long time. And that's why I would come over and be on your podcast all the time, because I was like, damn, we should do this on our own. Love to talk about myself and others.
And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about you.
Bitch has got a lot to say.
Are you ready to tell your story?
I'm scared.
Because I feel like I know most of your journey in this industry, and I feel like I've been a witness to it because I found you we found each other so early on.
Do you remember the first interaction we ever had?
Tell me.
When you were doing like a sex toy giveaway, and I won.
Yeah.
And you sent me a package of butt plugs.
Yep.
And like a glass dildo. I still have all of them to this day.
Ass was destined for success.
It's
and just
very
needed
true.
The proper tools.
You put me on the right path. And
I'm like an A&R for the porn industry.
That was in like what, 2018
it was
maybe?
Definitely 2018.
And then we met in 2019
at AVN's.
At AVN's in the bathroom. I had my tits out.
Yeah, and you were head to toe dolls kill.
Yeah. Oh. We don't talk about that anymore.
No, you actually look so cute, though.
I had like box dyed black hair with pigtails and bangs. And I was wearing like
not the
bang. I had like I was wearing like black cargo pants and like a silver chain and a mesh black shirt with my nipples out.
Who was I with? Was I with Stella?
Yeah, you were with Stella.
Oh.
And oh God, was I with MFC?
It was at
Redacted.
No, it was definitely at the MFC party. And,
yeah, the MFC, the penthouse party. The first night of it.
I accidentally stayed too long in the bathroom once they kicked everyone out.
Started seeing everyone having sex in the pool.
Wait, did you too, or do you just know?
No. I left because my friend was way too drunk. I literally had to drag her through the hall of the Hard Rock. R.I.P.
The
Hard Rock in Vegas.
And only time that I've been blacked out was at an MFC party on my 21st birthday.
Yes, I was there. I remember we all sang you happy birthday.
Wait, was that was the year we met? Did we meet on my birthday?
Yeah. No, it was the day I think it was the day before. And then the next night we did the MFC party, and that's where we got you hammered.
And the whole party
was Star there? Did she come?
No, she came the next year.
Okay.
The whole party sang me happy birthday, and I'm very much not a center of attention person. So it was my worst nightmare, but honestly, it was such a good environment. And the girl who started it and was like, it's her birthday, was a cam model that I had looked up to since I was 18. So I was like, this is so sweet.
Who was it?
I think it was Ashley T.
Okay.
Oh, if I said her name wrong, I'm so sorry. But
no, T-A, yeah, I know who that is.
Ashley T. And there's photographic evidence. I always thought she was so cool, such an inspiration. So the fact that she was like, it's her birthday, and went and told, I don't know. Anyways, this is not about me. This is about you today. I did want to say a little secret, though. Okay, guys. Let me just preface, I would never do this again, okay? I was 20 years old, but I definitely just let you win that giveaway. I went
Did
through,
you? Oh my God.
No, I went through everyone, and we didn't know each other at the time.
That was the start of our friendship.
I just went, and I wanted to find someone that I believed in to give all those sex toys to, and I was I feel like this girl is going to be a star.
Oh my
she
God.
has the aesthetic down, she has the work ethic
You
down.
prophesized it.
And here you are.
Look at me now, bitches.
Okay.
That's bonkers.
So wild.
Love you for that.
I know. Isn't it crazy?
And now we're besties.
I know. Oh, okay. I want to start from the beginning.
Okay.
Because I really I know a lot about your journey, but people watching might not. Have you ever done an interview where you've in depth talked about how you got into the industry and things like that?
Yeah, I've talked about it on a couple of podcasts that I've been in the past, but we didn't really do the full story. It was just here's how I started. This is where I lived, and then I moved to LA, and now I do porn.
And now I'm on browsers. Okay.
Among other things.
Is it okay if we talk about your college experience a little bit?
Oh, for sure.
Because obviously,
honestly, I feel I blacked out a lot of my high school and college life because I was sad.
Oh.
depressed and
I love you.
a blackout drunk for most of it.
Yeah, which is so opposite from you
Me now, where I'm like,
Now
I
you
need to
just don't
drink a
drink.
green juice and eat chicken and rice only.
Yeah. I love that for you.
But yeah, where should we start? Like
Okay.
my like birth?
Maybe not. Let's keep it 18 and above.
Okay.
Because we know that there's some weirdos out
For sure,
there.
for sure. So, well, I'll just preface by saying that I grew up in the Philadelphia area. I'm from Pennsylvania originally.
Go Birds.
Go Eagles. I lived there for 21 years. Went to college in Pennsylvania. Had
you
a
say which college you went
pretty
to?
good time. Yeah, I went to Penn State.
Can you-
I sometimes lie and tell people that I went to UPenn so that I can be like, I went to an Ivy League and now I do porn and I'm smart.
I mean, you wouldn't be the only performer.
because-
There's literally like Harvard dropouts everywhere.
Literally. And because people that aren't from Pennsylvania or like the tri-state area, when you say Penn, people assume Penn State because it's the bigger school, whereas UPenn is the Ivy League. But the Pennsylvania State University is like the giant public college.
Okay.
Where people are like, it's so easy to get into, but it's not.
I didn't know the difference between the two.
So, so I went to Penn State. I went there for 2 years before I dropped out. And in that time, I've always been a horny motherfucker.
Can I interrupt? Because this is a crucial statement that I think people would be shocked by, is that you were in a sorority. like
I sure was.
you were a sorority girl, and you don't have to get too far into it, but I think that's something because
Oh, well, let's talk about it.
I'm so
I was an
detached from
Alpha
that.
Delta Pi. I can say it now because I rejected my I don't know what we even call it, my membership, because when I dropped out of school, they were like, yeah, you're not a part of this anymore. I also was like posting my tits on Tumblr, and they were like, yeah, you can't do that. How did they find out? I was on like first of all, I was on scholarship. Not scholarship. Yes. I forget what the term is, but or like academic probation, because my grades were so bad because I was like failing in college.
And your sorority was like,
and they were like, you gotta get your fucking act together, bitch. You're in a sorority. Like, you can't have fucking D's and C's. And so, yeah, they didn't like me very much. I would get way too fucked up and have to be like, excuse me, carried home.
Bless you.
And I burped. And yeah, I was a bad girl in college.
So you were just like, you were in a sorority, but you were like failing your classes, posting your tits, like having to get blackout
I was
drunk,
the
carried
delinquent.
home.
But like our sorority was like one of the, like, the people are normal. Like,
Okay.
they're normal looking.
It's
like,
not like that University of Alabama documentary. Have you seen it?
we've been waiting for you all summer, and we're so glad you're finally here. We're so glad you're finally here. So that was not my chapter of my sorority, but that was another Alpha Delta Pi sorority that did that fucking video that went viral. Fun fact. But anyways,
Terrifying.
yeah. So like,
I know they're in their bag though. I know sororities are in their fucking bag.
They have TikToks and shit now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my sorority was full of the like people that like weren't conventionally attractive, because as sexy as I am today, I was still fat in college and
And they wanted like
was not
5'8"
on my glow up.
blonde,
Yeah,
100
exactly.
pounds.
They were literally like the top sororities were like Theta, Alpha Phi, Kappa, and that's literally like every single like typical sorority girl that you could think of would be in. Like,
This is such a different world to me.
it's honestly fucking stupid. I'm glad that I did it because I
Yeah.
made a lot of like really cool friends and everything, and it was like, you know, a good place to find community. But you're essentially paying to be like in high school again, where you're,
Or like, did it feel like you were like paying for friends, kind of, or?
I mean, like, yes and no. I feel like these days, especially as an adult, like, you're gonna fucking, friends are gonna be transactional in some form
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and like, my mom was in a sorority, my sister's in a sorority, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it. And I didn't really know how else to make friends in college either. So I was like, I feel like this is just the route that I'm gonna do. So
Might as well.
I did it.
So what led you to like deciding to post your tits on Tumblr? And then was there a moment where you were like, you know what? I don't want to work a normal job. I want to go all in on this. Like, were you working at what they call regular job for a bit, and then you decided, or what made you take the leap?
So I started posting on. I've had a Tumblr forever since probably like 2014. And then I started like using it in horny ways when I turned 18.
As we all did.
And
wait, who are your favorite Tumblr creators? Do you remember any?
Oh God, who
like,
did
was
I?
there like
I
any
can
like porn
see
people
them,
that you were like, I love?
but I don't remember what their names were.
Okay,
but I just followed like a lot of like porn blogs, you know, with like the porn gifs and like
the kissing,
seeing
the
typical like Sasha Grey and like, you know,
that was my girl.
Stoya and all that stuff. So I was loving that, and I was super horny and like I was fucking, but I wasn't like, I don't know. I wasn't getting anything out of it because I was, you know, I was like 18, 19, 20, 21. Boys are stupid.
The sex is awful.
The sex is god awful.
The sex is awful.
So I'm just like, have all this horny rage, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. So I was just like ferociously masturbating all the time, using this porn blog, and like, I was like, what if...
Were you getting like attention on it too?
Yeah,
like,
I had a decent following, like maybe a couple thousand followers,
that's
like
really
just
good for
from
Tumblr.
posting like reposted content. And then I started posting my own tits, and
love it.
obviously it took me a while to like build up a following. And at this point I was like, where am I going in life? Like, what is my purpose? What am I doing right now?
How old were you? Like 19? Or
So,
no, 20?
I think I was 19, 20.
Okay.
I decided to leave college, and so I moved back home to Philly and was working like a retail job for a little bit.
Were your parents upset by your choice to leave college?
They were understanding. I just kind of said like, I need some time to figure this out, and they were like, well, you're either gonna work or you're gonna be in school. So I was like, okay, I'll work for this semester, then I'm gonna take off, and then I'll go back to school and take some classes at community college in the spring.
Which I think is a great idea. I feel like people should start at community college to decide if they even want to go.
For sure. And honestly, I loved it there. But yeah, so I was at home. I was just like working my shitty retail job that like it was like my mom's friend's store or something like in our hometown. And it was like old lady clothes. And I was like, this is so fucking horrible. And then I would come home, and at night, like this was when I was still living at my mom's house. I don't know where she would be, honestly, but she would like, she's got a crazy life. She would be out all the time. Like, I was constantly home alone. So I was like, I'm horny, I'm bored, I'm just gonna start like taking nudes and posting on Tumblr. And I like kind of built up a following from that. And then I did cam for a little bit on Chatterbait and MFC. And
what was your experience on there? Like, did you like the clients?
I just didn't know what I was doing.
For sure.
I was just like, I'm fucking horny. And it was so hard for me. I was like, I want to masturbate so bad, but I didn't want to wait for people to pay me.
Same.
It was so frustrating.
I was doing cum shows for like $5, and I was like, yeah, let me get some Taco Bell after this.
What am I doing here? So then like gradually I started following other models on Tumblr and saw like people started selling their Snapchats, and I was like,
the Snapchat era.
oh, I could totally do that. So I started selling my Snapchat for like $9 and was like, pay me on Venmo, like my personal Venmo.
Oh no.
And
was it like your legal name?
Yep. Real ones. I hope you don't remember. But anyways, yeah. So I started a Snapchat, and I think from like my couple thousand followers that I had on Tumblr, I think I made like $500 in a day.
That's a lot.
And that is more money than I think I'd ever made in my life in that small period of time. And I was like, oh my God.
Were you immediately lost in the sauce? You were like, this is what I'm doing.
I think I bawled the fuck out on Dollskill or whatever, on Amazon or something, and bought a bunch of sex toys. And like, I was also doing where like fans could buy me stuff from my Amazon wish list and join my Snapchat that way. So I was getting packages sent to my house, like
to like your parents' house.
Yeah.
Were they confused?
Yeah, my mom was like, "Where are you getting the money to buy all this shit?"
And you know, like the wish
I had like
list
3
shows
packages
the
coming a
zip
day,
code. The
literally.
Wish list shows the zip code.
Oh,
and the name.
100%.
Was it under your real name?
Yep. Somebody probably has my legal address out there somewhere. I don't live there anymore
If you
though,
have
so it's
her
fine.
address,
And neither does my
don't.
mom, so it's fine. But yeah, so there were suspicions for sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of was just doing this until I got caught essentially. And in the spring, I went out and okay, at this time, so I worked my retail job in the fall. I got fired after the holidays because they were like, we just don't need you anymore.
Yeah,
And I
it's
was
like
like,
seasonal.
fuck, okay. So I went back to school, but I had like my own dog walking business. So I just had like family friends, word of mouth clients. This was like before like Rover and Wagwer thing. So I would get these like house sitting, dog sitting gigs where people would just ask me to stay at their house for like a week or two. So I just have this whole house to myself. And this was like before
Don't
people
tell
had
me you
like
did
security
porn
cameras.
in their houses.
Free
shooting days.
Like, why get Airbnb when you can just fuck in your mom's tennis friend's house, you know?
So you got some good content back then, I'm sure.
Sure did. I was the queen of solo content.
Let's go.
Doing all the stuff, and obviously like it started out on Snapchat, and then I got on Twitter and discovered the whole
So you were
community.
just on Tumblr and Snapchat, and Twitter wasn't even a thing.
Twitter wasn't a thing yet.
What year did you make your Twitter?
My original Twitter, I think in 2018.
Wow,
so
okay.
it was kind of like Tumblr, Snapchat, and then Twitter followed shortly after. And then I saw all these models, and I saw like other like plus size models like in porn, like absolutely killing it. Shout out to Destiny Diaz. I feel like she's like one of the first people that I ever
Our
discovered.
girl.
And that's how I found ManyVids, was because I found Destiny somehow. I think it just Twitter recommended her to me. And then I
Such an
saw
icon.
the site ManyVids, and I was like, oh my God, this girl is literally killing it.
Yeah.
I can do this.
And she like the thing about Destiny, shout out Destiny Diaz.
We love you.
She showed me personally, because obviously our body types are very different, so I wasn't inspired in that way, but I was inspired by just the fact that like, well, first of all, she's a mom and she publicly shares that, but also she really shares like you can be very business minded in this industry, and like you can build something, you can view this like an actual job. And I really think that like without being inspired by her, I don't know where I would be in this industry, just because
sure.
like she was such proof that it's like you can come up with like a game plan for this, and you can plan shoot days, and you can plan this, and it's just like overall very inspiring. And she was very willing to help other models. She literally taught me how to do dick ratings.
100%. I think did she not invent the dick rating?
I genuinely think that she did. I don't want to be wrong, but
I feel like she
I
did.
feel comfortable saying that Destiny Diaz popularized the dick rating.
Absolutely. She's like one of the biggest OGs
Yeah.
in online sex work.
So you found ManyVids.
I discovered ManyVids.
What was your first video?
Probably something horrible and ugly and disgusting. I deleted a lot of my old videos when I like
So embarrassing.
kind of rebranded and like started
We'll get
consistently
to the rebrand, 'cause
creating
I wanna
more.
hear about.
So yeah, back in the day, I was literally just like, I would pop on my iPhone camera and just film me like masturbating and using a bunch of different sex toys, and kind of seeing where that got me.
Yeah.
And I just started uploading the clips to ManyVids, and people were buying them, weirdly enough. They were super
Were you
cheap.
like shook?
Yeah. I was like, people like this? I mean, great.
Yeah.
So after that, I guess I just kept kind of doing what I was doing. I was consistently posting more on like Twitter. ManyVids was like my main platform.
ManyVids had its heyday. What years do you think that was?
Yeah, I would say 2017 to like 2019
For
were
sure.
peak ManyVids time for
I don't
sure.
think they could keep up
And
after
then
the OnlyFans era.
Once COVID hit and OnlyFans took over, they just kept trying to do too many things at once, and it destroyed the
Yeah.
website. Sadly, I still do have quite a bit of fans that buy my content there, which is great,
Really?
but I don't really upload there anymore because I
No.
just don't like how this
They changed their rules to, well, yeah, of course there's that.
Yeah.
They changed their rules where, like, you can't have watermarking and you can't have other sites. And I understand there's different laws involved and stuff, but they really built their brand on, like, hey, it's okay. You can promote your other platforms here. Like,
you can just be a sex worker.
Basically, like, shit on the other sites that didn't allow you to promote yourself. Yep. And then now they do that. And I'm just kind of like, this is so annoying. And yeah, I agree. I went to the Minivids Loft in Montreal, remember? And
yeah, I thought you were the coolest bitch on the planet.
And I was. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, you were. That was iconic.
It was so fun. Like, I have vlogs on my YouTube channel about it. It was so fun. But it's sad that, like, Minivids kind of, like, let themselves fall off when if they had just stayed in their lane and focused on what they were good at, they could be the biggest clip site in the industry. Yeah. If they just wanted to be a clip site.
For sure.
No social media feed,
none of this fucking fan subscription.
None of that.
They fumbled it, for sure.
If they stayed in their lane, they could have owned shit. Because I do think that clip sites are something that are always going to be wanted and needed by
absolutely.
By porn consumers.
For sure.
And so it's just, anyways, I could rant about this, but I won't go off on a business tangent. Go ahead, sweetie.
Thank you, Mom.
So you were on Minivids.
Okay, yeah. So Minivids. Yeah, and then while I was doing that, I guess I just kind of got more involved in, like, the Twitter sex worker community and seeing, like, all of these. I joined, like, a bunch of, like, retweet groups and, like, other little, like, sex worker just engagement groups where we could, like, chat and talk about our lives. And, like, I connected with a lot of people in those. Some of them that I'm, like, still friends with today. Like, some of the first people that I met in sex work.
Can we hear some names?
Oh gosh. There's one of them specifically, her name's Eliza B. She's got, like, black hair and bangs.
Is it spelled with a Z?
Yes.
Yes.
I believe she lives in Pennsylvania as well.
Oh, nice.
And she was, like, in one of the first, like, ever little sex worker girly chat groups that I was in, and we still follow each other. Shout out to you, Eliza. We've never met, but you're really cool, and I think about you often.
Unless.
Anyways, but yeah, and then I kind of saw people going to, like, these conventions. Like, I remember watching your vlog from AVN in 2018.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm going next year. And
those vlogs were feral.
Where you broke your fucking leg.
I broke my leg at AVN.
Real ones, remember, I can't walk, but I can come.
Best video I've ever made. No, that one,
so
like,
good.
Listen, that video back in the day on Twitter was getting reposted by, like, rappers and stuff. Like, they were, like, quoting it and, like, sharing it to their audience. And so I got, like, the most insane following of people being like, this bitch is crazy. Like,
you were so creative with your ideas. I love that.
I know. I just, like, I've never been scared of a digital footprint.
No,
fight me, bitch.
That's, like literally, that is a foreign concept.
Like, what are you going to do after this? This is after this.
Yes. What do you mean? Bitch,
I'll probably die. So you went to AVN.
Yeah, so, okay. So
Did you finesse the MFC system?
Before that, let me just...
Okay.
Let's get to the lead up. So I saw people going to conventions and, like, doing all the porn things, and I was wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I was like, I'm going to do all of them.
Yeah.
All of the things. So that spring, I bought a plane ticket to LA and I visited for the first time just to, like, scope it out and see if I liked it, because, you know, all the porn bitches are on the West Coast. Yeah. That's just a fact.
We're popping pussy out here.
For sure.
And
so
pussy.
I visited. I was like, I didn't tell my parents. It was the first time I ever traveled and, like, didn't tell my parents about it, like, on a plane.
Were you scared?
A little bit, but I knew I was going to be fine.
Yeah.
And so did my trip. It was great. I was like, this is it.
Did you do any, like, porn things while you were out here? Or?
No, because I didn't really have enough, like, connections yet. Like, I'd like applied to some agencies and they're like, you're fat, we don't want you. And I'm like, okay. So they're like, we don't hire BBWs. I'm like, I wasn't even, like, fat then either,
so
which is ridiculous.
insane.
But, and now look at me now.
Have you had any, like, companies that rejected you back then reach out to you now?
I don't, honestly, I only remember reaching out to, like, a couple agencies. I didn't like DM any companies to shoot.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
This is about me, but I have to tell you because I actually got ignored by a porn website one time.
Oh, yeah?
So...
Wait, did you tell me about this?
I feel like I can just say it.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know like what he's doing now. I don't even follow him. I don't even watch his
Wait,
content.
is it...
Okay, let me tell you. Did he do something?
Oh,
What?
bestie.
Why did you look at me like that? What?
I'll tell you after. He's not a good man.
Okay, allegedly, because we have to be worried about...
Hypothetically,
Yeah, in
if you were a naughty
Minecraft.
girl, hypothetically speaking, no, allegedly, he is an R word.
Redacted. So whenever I was 18, I've never told this story. It's so embarrassing. Okay, whenever I was 18, I really liked. Okay,
They had the girlies in a chokehold.
I was in my baby girl era.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They had the Tumblr
Daddy.
girlies. Yeah. Someone's gonna come to that.
Pigtails.
Yeah.
And the pink.
And that was very much me.
I have to sneeze.
Bless you.
You're welcome, sneeze fetishist.
Yeah, we're leaving that in. So anyways, I joined their website. It was the first porn site that I ever paid for. It was like $19.99. I was broke as fuck. Okay, I was paying like
But I'm a buy me some
to get those full-length videos, sweetie. So I joined, and then they give a Snapchat to the people who buy their membership. So I joined the Snapchat, and there was this guy who ran their Snapchat. Oh my God, wait, wheels are turning in my head. Hold on. What? Was he a blonde guy?
No.
No, and it's not the guy Nigel.
Okay, the one that's or something.
We're cutting that out.
That makes girls redacted. Beep, 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 beep.
Okay, we have to not be gossipy.
We know too much.
So let me just wrap it up. Basically, long story short, the Snapchat guy reaches out to me and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you this number, and like
trying to hire you.
Maybe you can come out to LA and shoot whatever." So I get this number. I don't know if this is. Now I'm like realizing, don't know if this is or that guy, I can't remember his name, who ran the Snapchat. Long story short,
homeboy was probably just trying to fuck you.
it was probably that guy. I know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this now, so I'm like, I don't even know if it's. Anyways, he asked me to send him front and back nudes, and he never responded. I'm sorry, I wasn't 75 pounds.
Yeah.
No, but
porn
I
was
pretty
not
small.
great in the 2010s.
I was small back then. I just think I didn't have the
if you weren't like literally petite, they call them teeny boppers. Think about that. Beat.
So you
Disgusting. Okay, anyways.
sorry, I just had to share that because if I didn't word vomit right now, I would have never told that
No,
story.
yeah. No, it's important information.
So important.
I hate that. I hate men.
So weird. Right?
I beep redacted gender. Okay, so what was I?
So you realized that you're gonna do this.
Okay,
that you're
yeah,
gonna move to LA?
So I like applied to some agencies. None of them wanted me. I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm just gonna keep filming my content, and I kept doing that. And then I was like plotting. This was in the like late spring, early summer. I got back from my trip. So you know how I was saying I had I was being sent all of these sex toys from my Snapchat subscribers. So I didn't have any like storage. At this point, I had moved from my childhood home at my mom's to my dad's house because they were newly divorced, and I was just hiding all of my sex toys under my bed in my dad's house. And if my bedroom was right by the stairs, and if you walked down the stairs, you were then at eye level with the underneath of my bed, so you could see all my sex toys.
Did he see them?
So homeboy found them. Sorry, Dad.
How old were you?
20. Yeah. And
what did he say?
So he calls my mom. He's like, Layla has a bunch of sex toys under her bed. I don't know what to do. What do I say to her? And at this time, someone from my sorority had and a bunch of people from that I went to college with and high school with, because a bunch of people that I went to high school with went to the same college as me. They found my Tumblr, where I was
How?
fully posting porn.
Was it because they Googled your name and then your Venmo came up?
Yeah, some kind of like I had made an account and I didn't
Your phone
say
number.
the like don't share with contacts or something. So somebody somewhere found my Tumblr and my Twitter. And so somebody told my mom somehow.
What?
This is what she claims. I feel like, I don't know, she found it somehow.
I think she found it.
Because she was like, your aunt, and somebody showed Aunt Redacted, and she showed me your porn, and I'm just like, why is anyone looking at this? First of all, whose business is this?
Yeah.
But anyways,
And you were like obviously young, but
I was
you
a
were
grown
like
woman,
grown.
for sure.
You were a woman.
Like I was out of college. I mean, I didn't graduate college, but I was 20.
No, you graduated from Harvard.
Exactly. So somebody found my porn. My mom found it. She was like, what is going on? And so my sister, I have a sister. She's older than me by 3 years. We're very close, and she's known the whole time. Literally, since I started doing it, she's known everything, been supportive. She's awesome. I love her. When I got outed and my parents were trying to understand what was going on and what was happening, we tried for 3 days to explain to them what this was and see what their reaction would be, and it was god awful. Like my parents were like, do we have to send you like to the military, or like do we have to take you to like, they were like, you have to go to therapy. I remember my dad saying this. He was like, we're treating this like you're a drug addict and that you need to be cured from this illness.
Are you comfortable saying what your dad does for work? Because I feel like this provides like interesting content.
Sure. So my dad is a doctor, and he is of the generation where they just don't really understand.
Yeah. He's older. He's not like...
They don't... Yeah. It was a new concept to both of them. And my parents are, I feel like, as good as parents can be. Like, I really lucked out in the parents department.
Aww.
Despite this happening at one point in time, they're accepting now. They love me and support me, which is great. I'm really lucky.
Oh.
But at this time, they had never even thunk that this could be a possibility for me. And I think to them, it was just, they felt like they had failed at parents, which is so much to unpack there. But I understand, you don't think that this could ever be a possibility that your child, and because of like the media and just what we're taught growing up, that sex is bad and shameful, and you know that being a prostitute is the worst thing that could ever happen, and that you're like on drugs and you're on the streets and you're getting, it's like, no. Yeah. This is, while the industry has its downsides, of course, totally different ballpark. Like,
absolutely.
And I wasn't even doing anything yet. I'm like, I'm literally just sitting at home jerking off.
Like, just wait for this one, Mom.
I'm like, it could honestly be so much worse.
I'm about to call Dred.
Manifesting. Hey. About to slide into those DMs. He follows me. Hey, Dred.
Can I be a witness?
Yeah, you can watch. Okay, so...
Wait, what is it called whenever like people have to watch you sign a document? A notary or something? I'm gonna be the notary. Dred fucking
Dred destroying my insides.
I'm just gonna watch.
Okay, so... What? How long have we been going?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, well,
if this needs to be 2 hours, it'll be 2 hours.
Perfect.
Because your story is important.
We're golden.
We're chilling.
Okay, so yeah. So I got outed. My parents found out. They were not happy.
They probably found it.
Yeah.
I feel like parents love to lie.
Somebody's
about how they found it.
dad stumbled upon my porn and sent it to my mom.
Awful.
So they were like, all right, you have to quit doing this. And my sister and I were so fed up. It was like 3 just days long of us trying to explain to them, like,
one, by the way.
No, she really is. And just like the emotional turmoil, like screaming and crying and just being so frustrated, trying to get them to understand that like, this is just a job. I'm safe. I'm an adult making my own decisions. It's consensual. I'm not on drugs. I'm not fucking strange men off the internet, which I kind of was anyways, but for free. So, but yeah, we kind of just came to the conclusion, like, they are just not ready to hear this right now. So I at this point, like, I have always kind of been dependent on my family financially. Like, I'm not anymore, obviously, because I'm a 26-year-old teenage girl, but but at that point in my life, like, my parents were helping me pay for college. Like, I was living under their roof, and they were just like, we're super uncomfortable if you're doing this, like, in our house.
Which I suppose is fair,
for
right?
sure.
It's like,
I was like, I understand totally.
They can kind of call the shots on more than usual.
Absolutely. So I kind of had to do what they said at that point, and I was like, I'm just not even gonna fight them on this. I was like, okay, fine, I will quit. But I'm telling you guys, like, I am very unhappy here in Pennsylvania. I can't do another Pennsylvania winter. That shit is rough. I had, like, a note from my therapist being like, this bitch has fucking seasonal affective disorder, which is seasonal depression, if you don't know. And I was like, I think I need to move to a warmer place, and I need to, like, take a trip and maybe do, like, a road trip and go and, like, find myself. And just I need some new scenery, and I think I need a fresh start, because I wasn't loving the climate, wasn't loving the location. I was kind of sick of, like, just going out and, like, seeing all the people that I grew up with and stuff like that. And
awful.
Yeah,
sounds like a nightmare.
Like high school people and like fucking all the guys that bullied me in high school wanting to fuck me, and I'm just like, I'm over this. So,
like, oh, now you don't care what people think,
right? I'm like, oh, you see that I, like, show pussy online, and now you want to fuck? Cool, got it. You didn't care about me at all, when we were growing up, but cool, got it. I understand. So I was like, I'm gonna drive across the country, and I'm just gonna go somewhere, and we're gonna see what happens. What kind of car did you have? So at that time, I had a 2004 Honda Pilot, which was it was my mom's car, and then it was my sister's car, and then it was mine. And that shit was, I called her the shag wagon, and I miss her every day.
Did you fuck in there?
Oh, absolutely. That car had 3 generations of cum stains in it, probably.
Do you like car sex?
I think it's definitely making a comeback. I think that when I could only have car sex, I hated it because nobody wants to fuck in a car. But now I'm kind of like, let's pull over and fuck.
It's
you know?
so slutty.
It is. Like, we're just so horny that we can't even wait till we get home to fuck. We have to fuck now.
When you drive to San Diego tomorrow, I need you to look at that Denny's sign and just think about
every time I drive on that. If you live in LA or in Southern California and you drive from Los Angeles to San Diego? I forgot the name for a second. And you see that it's like the perfect, it's literally Denny's. Right halfway in between LA and San Diego. That retro Denny's. Times have been had.
I was fucking in that parking lot, and then he went back to Germany and I never saw him again.
She got her pussy on the hood of a car.
Oh my god.
Wait, was that a different time?
No, that was when we were at the AVN party, and I was
That was when we were at the AVN party in Chatsworth, and she held my butt plug in her purse, and then I put it in dry with no lube in my ass in the bathroom.
Okay. We're gonna have to, like, parts of this are gonna be so inappropriate for YouTube. We're gonna have to make a compilation for, like, OnlyFans or something. But yeah, I was so horny. That AVN's party made me so horny. I drove like 3 hours for some dick after.
She was like FaceTiming with this guy and was like, I need to go fuck him.
Am I like at manic? Like
yeah.
Okay, anyways.
She was like, I'm feeling manic. I'm gonna drive to San Diego to have sex. I was like, okay.
And then I started going to Sex and Love Addiction Anonymous. Anyways, your story.
We'll get into that later. So I decided to move across the country. So I packed up. So my basically my dad's love language is gift giving because he doesn't know how to be an emotional human being. So he likes to give people money instead and provide for them, which could be worse.
It could be worse. He could be not giving you money.
Right. So at least I have that.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, I don't feel safe with you driving across the country in the car that you currently have. So for my 21st birthday, he got me a car so that I could drive across the country, which was very nice.
Is that the car you have now?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Sure is. So I planned a road trip in 2 weeks. and just decided I'm about to do this shit. So I packed up my little car and all of my clothes and all my sex toys and my my $25 Amazon lights and hit the road. And I went south to Florida first.
And you were not doing adult content at this time?
I was. I lied to my parents and said, I'm going to stop, but I didn't stop.
Okay. So do you have like road trip content from this trip?
Yeah, I've masturbated and squirted in front of the Grand Canyon.
That's beautiful.
Which I totally forgot about until now.
The river that's down at the bottom, if you guys didn't know
the
that.
What is it? The Colorado River is me. That's my squirt.
She caused
I created
Grand Canyon
with my farts.
Guys, we'll tell you the story.
We'll get to the farts later.
We'll tell you this story on another podcast because I feel like it needs its own section.
Absolutely. We should just have a segment where we like talk about our craziest fetish requests.
Absolutely.
Okay, so so I went down south. I went to Florida and then I went to New Orleans. I saw I have some cousins in Texas. And then I went to Sedona in Arizona, and then I went to LA, and it was like the best little road trip. I think I took probably like 2 weeks on the road and just
by yourself?
Explored. Yeah.
You are such a bad bitch, like for real.
Thank you.
Independent queen. I've never met a woman more independent than you.
It's the trauma, babes.
Oh.
Woo!
Never mind.
I road tripped alone to LA and I stayed with an ex-friend in LA for a few weeks and we were fucking at the time and then he was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I was like, okay. So I left.
He didn't want to do the sex anymore?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was like, also, I'm moving, so you can't stay with me anymore. I was like, okay, bye. So my uncle, my mom, on my mom's side, offered for me to stay with him in like San Francisco area up in the Bay. So I stayed there for a little bit. And at this time, I was continuing to create content sneakily. I was just living at his house.
And what kind of, like, just for context, like, what kind of person was your uncle? Like, would he have been cool with you doing it? Or like...
I think if we had talked about it, it would have been fine. But he also discovered all of my props. And
what props?
I think...
Like sex toys?
And
you
lingerie.
You sex toy discovery.
Yeah, I think I was just not really good at hiding it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, and I had a lot of shit. But it was expensive. So I was like, I don't want to... Not that I bought it for myself, but I'm like, this is my work shit. Like, I can't... Yeah, literally.
Maybe if you had a business that you were passionate about, then you know what it takes.
Then you would know what it takes to fucking run a business, but you don't. So he found my shit. I had gone home. So I was living with him in the fall, and I was also like walking dogs and still doing that as well.
Okay.
Like that was when I got on WAG and started doing that. So I was doing that. So I would tell him like, oh, I'm just going out and I'm walking dogs all day, but I would like go and film content, or I would just stay home.
Where would you film at?
Either at his house when he was like at work, or I would just like film in my car.
Oh, okay.
Like I did a lot of car content back in the day. So I flew home to see my family for Thanksgiving. And at that time, he went through my stuff and found all my shit.
That's kind of weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, it was a very weird situation.
Why do you think that he went through it?
I think that he told me that his kids, my cousins, were coming, and they're like older, like they were like 19, maybe like late high school, early college. And he was like, okay, the boys are coming back to stay with me. I have to clean your room out. And I at this point, I had hid my stuff pretty well. Like everything was like either in drawers or like hidden away and covered. And like, you know, if you just needed to go in there and like sleep in a bed, you wouldn't have found it, which is what he told me was going to happen. But then he ended up just literally ransacking my room and found all this stuff, which was very weird to me.
Do you think that he was suspicious or?
I don't fucking know, honestly. And we never talked about it because he's the kind of person that when you have a conflict, he just screams at you about it.
Was he on?
My mom's.
Do you think that she asked him to like look and be like, is she still doing this?
I don't know. Because my mom was very shocked because he texted my mom before I came home and was like, I found all this stuff.
But what if you weren't doing adult content and you just wanted to like fuck yourself and like wear lingerie for a boy?
And that's what I told them.
You're allowed to have lingerie.
Exactly. But I think he found my lighting equipment
What if you want to take really high quality nudes?
I know.
Sorry,
No,
you're not
I
a fucking
know.
artist like she is.
Literally, that's what I was like, I was like, first of all, this was when I was still lying to my parents. I was like, first of all, I'm allowed to have sex toys and lingerie. Like, what's so bad about that? Like, sorry, I'm single and want to jerk off. And my mom was like, that's fine, but like, what about the lighting equipment? And I was like, it was expensive and I brought it to LA to sell it.
Am I not allowed to take selfies?
No, which like is a pretty like reasonable explanation. I'm like, I'm a fucking, 21-year-old teenage girl. Like, I'm allowed to want to, hang on to my expensive shit. So, but nobody believed me. And they were like, what the fuck? But I don't really remember what happened. I was just like, okay, it's not a big deal. Like, I'll get rid of all my stuff. My mom was like, just throw it out. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll do that when I get home. So I flew home. My uncle went to work during the day, and I went to his house and picked up all my shit
while he wasn't there.
While he was gone, and drove back to LA.
Damn.
And at that point, I had found another sex worker that was renting a room. So I was like, okay, I'll stay with these people. And this was a couple, and they were very nice at first. But they were also...
Your tone is scaring me. Like, I was like, what is about to happen?
I just want to...
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm very empathetic towards people that have debilitating mental illness.
Of course.
And they were recovering drug addicts. So I was, like, very sympathetic towards...
How'd you meet? Just from, like, Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, and they just were like, we have an extra bedroom. We want the money. Like...
Yeah,
let's make it happen. And it was not great. So the place was very small, and they had a huge dog that would kind of stay in the crate or just like jump on you and like shit everywhere. And
like my dogs.
They were really depressed. And the house was just, it felt like living in someone's garage. Like the living room, you literally couldn't even walk through because there was so much shit everywhere.
Yeah.
And the place just like wasn't clean. Like I had a friend come over and spend the night with me. Like this, like my gay best friend from home who was living in Orange County. And he was like, you have to get out of here. Like this place is filthy.
How long did you live with them?
Probably like 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
So are
they still in the industry?
Yeah, I think so. I think they just at least okay. So here's what happened.
Okay.
This girl and these people were like engaged or something, and then they moved, and then they broke up, and the girl stole another girl that I was friends with at the time's boyfriend. Like he broke up with friend and she swooped in, stole him, and now they're married.
I've heard of this happening multiple times in this industry, and I'm not fucking kidding.
It's crazy. So but like I understand people's struggles.
You're empathetic, but you're allowed to have your own experience.
For sure. She did a lot of weird shit. So anyways, I lived with them for a couple months because I didn't have any credit. I couldn't get an apartment in LA. I was really fucking broke. But my dad was like, hey, if you take classes again and you start, thinking about going back to school,
please go to college.
Literally, it's like, please don't do porn and please get a real job. So
you're moving to LA. He's like, no,
oh. So he was like, here's the deal. I'll give you money if you go to school again. And I was like, cool, I can do that. So I took 2 classes at a community college in LA.
Wait, which one? What?
I don't know if I should say it.
I went to
small
LACC.
the place.
It's not that one.
Oh, okay.
It's not that one.
Okay.
There's multiple colleges
I went to Community College of Los Angeles. That could be literally. I don't even know if that exists.
There's like multiple community colleges. I'm just curious if we went to the same one because I didn't know that.
So, anyways, I was like, cool. So I started taking 2 classes again. And then I was really not having a good time in this place with these people and in the apartment. And so I told my dad, I was like, it really sucks. Could you maybe co-sign a lease for me?
And did you do it?
Yeah, because he was like, why didn't you fucking tell me that you were living in this dirty ass dungy fucking
You were like,
room
I'm a
in someone's
21-year-old teenage girl.
I was like, I don't know, because I don't know how to ask for help sometimes.
Yeah.
So he helped me get my first apartment on my own ever, and I lived there through COVID.
Was that the one that was
The stinky little studio apartment?
It was by the liquor store?
Yes.
Yeah.
That one. So yeah, what avenue should we go on now?
So once you started living alone in that studio apartment, is that when you started like making content more and trying to like dive into the whole world of Leila Lewis? Or when was the moment when you were like, you know what, it's time to go hard? And how do you feel like that kind of led you to where you are right now?
So I think, I attended AVN in 2019.
Yeah.
So that was January. So I'd moved in with my old roommates in December.
Okay.
Went to AVN in January. We shot some content together, my old roommate, and I did some stuff with like some other like smaller creators. And yeah, it was mostly just like networking at that time and making friends in the industry. And I met some of like the people that I'm still really close with in the industry at that 2019 AVN. Obviously, we met. I also met Kaya. And
Blair was there too.
Yes, Blair was there. That was the first time she and I had ever met. Who else? Just like that whole Cam Clubhouse group, RIP Cam Clubhouse.
I was just about to say, tell me about your.
We should have I think that should be its own thing.
Yeah,
I
talk
feel
about
like
Cam
we have a
Clubhouse.
lot to say about that.
Yeah.
That can be. But anyways, there was this
sorry.
I'll just for the people that don't know what Cam Clubhouse is.
Yeah.
It was like essentially a collab trip for cam girls.
Yeah.
Where you would rent a house, you would film, you would cam, whatnot. So, and that was like one of the first of its kind. Anyways, so that's how I met a lot of these people, because Cam Clubhouse had an AVN trip where they rented a house in Vegas.
You went to the AVN one in 2019? I didn't
So
know
that was like, oh gosh, I can't even remember half the girls that was on it. But
I went
like
to the Miami one.
Oh yeah, well I did the Miami one the following year, which was
I have to tell you something. This is insane. You just jogged my memory. I had a dream about Cam Clubhouse last night. And I had a dream.
That is freaky.
I had a dream that I was on Twitter and there was a flyer for Cam Clubhouse, and it was like all of the OG girls that were involved, and were like little
Molly
pictures
and Britt
and like Emily like all of these people. What the fuck? Okay, anyways.
That's crazy. It knows.
What the
You're
fuck?
like weirdly clairvoyant.
No, I know, it's actually really.
She can like, she knows things.
No, it's really creepy. It's really creepy.
Anyways,
Continue. AVN's Cam Clubhouse.
So yeah, I feel like going to AVN in 2019 kind of like kickstarted my, I don't know what the word to say, like
your drive for like the industry.
My drive for the industry for sure. I was like, this is it. This is what I want to fucking do.
Yeah.
I had the best time. Like I was partying. I was making friends. Like people were so cool, and it was just like sex positive, and like there was the Sex Panther party, which was like kinky and like
the one
with
the blood and stuff. Yeah. I don't even know the story with that, but
it's so stupid. But anyways,
we can talk about it later.
Yeah. So that was kind of, I was like, this is what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. And yeah. So that year, I think I kind of was just like, this is it. This is what I'm gonna do.
Let's go.
And I worked my butt off. I filmed a lot of content.
Solo or with people? Or?
So I was mainly doing solo. When I started meeting other creators, like that Cam Clubhouse trip at AVN's, I filmed my first girl scene. And I was doing like fetish stuff as well. Still mostly solo. Little bit of girl here and there. And then that summer, I filmed, I think that was summer of 2019, I filmed my first boy-girl scene with Logan that I brought you to.
I'm sorry, guys.
Do you remember that?
Wait, in the edit, we're going to zoom in on your face so they did not see me yawning. No free yawns. I was there for your first boy-girl shoot. R.I.P. Logan Long.
So we were like friends at this point.
Yeah, we were like casual friends.
Yeah,
you know?
we were like we
Had
would
we
like
even gone to the AVN party yet? No.
No, yeah, we had. Because
okay.
this was summer of 20.
So it was like around that time.
January 2019 happened. I think, or maybe this was like the spring. Yeah. But I just remember I was really tan in that video. So I'm like, it had to have been summertime.
Yeah. Oh my god!
But I was. You were like,
girl.
you were like one of my like closer like industry friends because I feel like most of my industry friends lived in Vegas.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've never shot a boy girl scene. I feel more comfortable having a friend come with me. So I invited Lydia, and she came and watched me get fucked on camera for the first time in history.
Wow. I was there for, can I say from my point of view real quick, it was a moment in history, and I knew that there was a star on our hands. A star was born that day.
I just remember you like hyping me up so much afterwards.
It was really hot. So like, I mean, I'm sure, I don't know if anyone that's gonna be watching this will know, but like, you know, he used to have that little back house. There was like a little pool house. So we went in there. It was all set up, it was all set up for content.
Rest in peace, Logan Long.
With the orange wall, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Actually, I found out that one of my favorite porn videos was him in it, but this is like a really old video.
Oh, wow.
And I stumbled across it recently, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like,
he's been around for a while, or he was.
I watched them fuck. I actually have like Snapchat memories.
Video evidence.
Yeah, I have Snapchat memories. I just remember it was him, and then his camera guy. Did he record? And I don't know his name, but I just remember him looking at me and being like, nipple piercings, nice, because you could see them through my shirt. I was like, sick, okay. And it was just honestly like, it wasn't a creepy vibe.
No, it was just like natural and horny.
Yeah, they were like nice and they were kind and everything.
Yeah, he
definitely texted me a bunch after.
Just say like how he died, I guess.
Yeah, how did he pass?
So Logan actually, I worked with him. Was it last year? I think.
Oh, you worked with him again? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I shot some content with him and Scotty P and another male performer, and then like 3 days later, he wound up in the hospital. I think with like some like pneumonia.
Was it COVID or something?
No, it was like pneumonia, and then it literally killed him. Crazy.
That's insane because he was like what had it been like in his 30s at the oldest?
Yeah, maybe late 30s.
Oh really? He looked kind of young.
He looks very young for sure, but he's been in the biz for a while.
That's insane. I remember being like, what?
No, it was like really shocking.
Because there's been a lot of people that have passed in this industry, unfortunately, obviously. Yeah. But sometimes they do surprise you where you're like, wait, that person?
Yeah,
you know?
where you're like, wait, huh?
Yeah.
Now?
So you did your first boy-girl scene, and was it well received by your audience?
Absolutely. I was also selling it for like a fuck ton of money, so I feel like I think I started selling it for like $50 because it was my first one ever.
Do you ever think back
trying to get that bag?
Fuck, I want to be able to sell these videos for $50
Honestly,
again.
At this point, because I've built such a name for myself, I've raised my prices a lot.
I think you could sell a video for $50 right now.
And I mean, with like custom videos and stuff,
for sure, yeah.
But I think at this point, like with the level of like the quality of the content that I create on top of just like it being me and people liking me and liking my content, yeah, we're getting there.
Let's fucking go.
Bring back charging $500 for a picture of a girl's foot. 2023.
We do that. We do that. Dom content. I mean,
absolutely.
I've done it.
And that's what I mean is like we're bringing it back.
Bring back overcharging.
Well, exactly. And when somebody annoys me on Onlyfans, I charge them double.
Oh, absolutely.
Triple, quadruple.
Absolutely.
Because if you're pissing me off, you're gonna pay.
This is the annoyance tax. So once you did your first boy-girl scene, were you like, okay, I'm gonna go all in, it's time? And did you did lesbian stuff before?
Yeah, so I'd been shooting with a lot of girls. I did like a blowjob scene with another performer in Vegas, but I was like, I'm not ready to fully fuck on camera yet because I don't know why. I think it was smart at the time, but I had this idea that like you need to milk out everything possible. Like you need to. But that's because we came
from that, like, not that era.
No, it's true.
Kind of. Like we came from the era of like these porn agents were like, don't do anal and don't.
Or
you just shit too, but
you
like,
hear about girls getting asked to do everything way too quickly, and that's why the like expectancy or the longevity rate of being in the industry was like 6 months, because girls would do their first boy girl, they would do, you know, their first threesome, they do an orgy, they do an anal, and then they'd be spit up and chewed out and done in the industry. And like, that's not what the fuck we're trying to do if you're an independent creator.
Tell me if I'm wrong for this. Like, I don't want you to be my yes man, but in some ways I do kind of agree with pacing yourself in the beginning, though. I do agree with it. Like,
I 100%.
Okay, so you don't think it's like problematic for me? Because I do agree with being like, okay, like
make
build that audience.
wait.
Because here's the thing, I am so thankful that I built a solo career before I had my era where I was doing lesbian content, or before I did anything else, because without that, like, I don't know if I would have lasted in this industry. Like, because what happens if one day you're like, I don't want to do boy girl anymore, I just want to do solo, or I don't want to do girl girl, I just want to do solo, or whatever, and then your audience only wants you because of the other people around. It's really important to build that audience, and I feel like you've been really successful at that, to where if you decided that you're never fucking someone on camera again, I mean, first of all, you have like 200 fucking videos, you'd be fine, but also you would still have that audience that enjoys you.
For sure.
So
I am really glad that my experience in the industry, like, the trajectory went in the right way.
You paced yourself so correctly.
For sure. I'm gonna shout out Ginger Banks on this one. I remember listening to her saying, like, you should wait to do stuff. Like, do things only at your comfortability level. Like, if you want to start fucking getting asshole gangbangs right away, sure, go for it. But is it the smartest thing to do right off the bat? Probably not.
Yeah. And that's just a fact. It's not
for
wrong
sure.
to say.
No, totally.
Do whatever you want, but
you like, when you get into this business, like, you are a business now. Like, you gotta milk this shit for everything it's worth, because who knows, like, in this industry, it's not like, nothing is promised. Like, there's those stupid shitty stereotypes of people being like, you can't do this over 40, which like is absolutely not true, but it's gonna be harder to continue this as you age if you are running out of things to do.
I also do feel like, though, like, there's different kind of like eras, to where like we started out in our like teen era,
and are like, we just
and now we're like, we're still in our young girl era, but then we go to the MILF era, and then we go to so I do feel like in those different eras where like we kind of naturally get put in those boxes, you are able to like expand the content and things like that. I mean, Violet Doll, who is like one of the most successful doms ever, she's
like 40, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, up there for sure. And first of all, one of the nicest people I've ever met in this industry. She was so sweet. But she started out as an MFC cam model. Yeah. Completely vanilla cam model. For sure. She found her lane. She's fucking crushed it.
You find your niche.
Intelligent, everything.
You just run with it.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do. I tell, like what you were saying, like, obviously in my career, like, yeah, I started with the solo content. I started doing softcore girl. I started doing boy girl, threesomes, whatnot. And I feel like now, as I'm transitioning into like going back to focusing on more solo stuff and dom content and stuff, naturally, like, I'm really lucky that I still have fans that just love my content because it's me. Yeah. They're like, obviously I do have fans that want specific things. They want to just see me get fucked on camera and doing all of the things, and they like me for specific reasons. But because I started my career doing stuff that was just solo, or, you know, making a brand for that's of me, people are going to stick around because they like me and not just the content that I make.
Which is so important.
Absolutely.
I really want to talk to you about like your Brazzers shoots and all of that, but I do feel like that could be its own episode in itself if you're open to it. But are you willing to share, like,
oh sure, we can talk about mainstream shit.
Yeah, like, I want to hear about your mainstream career, like how you first got into it, maybe your first shoots, your favorite one.
For sure. So I obviously I just kept like doing my thing, and like clearly people liked me, and I built up a pretty decent following on Twitter, and companies started. I've never honestly, like at that point, I thought it was just a waste of time, or like it was just not in my journey that I was ever gonna like shoot for mainstream sites, because like, you know, I was fat, and porn is not about diverse body types. Unfortunately, they're just still really slacking, even though BBW is probably one of the top searched categories on all of the sites. But
absolutely, I mean, I've seen your
go
OnlyFans
off.
account.
Literally, the fucking, what's that saying? The proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the fucking pudding.
The proof is in this pudding,
the
baby.
proof is in the belly.
The pudding's in the belly. Yeah, I just never thought that I would ever be on a mainstream set.
But
even
did
though
you
like
see like BBW specific porn sites, and did you think like, oh, they won't shoot me?
okay, well, no. So I just didn't count that in
But
my.
those weren't the ones that you wanted to, because it's definitely very
like
different.
I've shot for all of the like the mainstream like BBW sites, Plumper Pass, Jeff's Models, BBW Highway.
But you wanted that like Vixen Brazzers type
Absolutely, which like obviously I don't think Vixen will ever shoot a fat girl. If they do that
but you
day,
know what I mean? Like that.
call me. But you know,
Wait, are they still shooting?
I don't know. Isn't like
Are
Greg
they?
Lansky and is he in jail? No, I think he just resigned.
Wait, don't they have a new account? They have a new account called
Slade or something.
Slade.
Yeah,
What
it's
is
just
that?
lesbians.
Is it?
It's lesbian porn, yeah. Anyways, so basically, I just had a couple, I will say two of the more notable companies being Brazzers and Deep Lush, which if you are unfamiliar is Owen Gray. They slid into my DMs, like just they found me and they wanted me and they reached out to me
Was
and
your
said,
inner Tumblr 18-year-old just like screaming when Owen Gray reached out to you?
I think I redacted my pants.
You know that the TikTok girlies are still like feral for Owen Gray.
Oh, absolutely, which is
He's
great for me.
multi-generational talent.
Absolutely. So yeah, I shot for Brazzers one time. It was supposed to be 2 times. Yeah, so shot for them. My first scene with them was honestly great. No complaints at all. It was a lovely time, other than the shoot house was ugly. That's the only thing I can say.
The aesthetics were just not
It was just not the vibe. Also, my makeup artist sucked. But she just made me orange. Yeah, I'm like, I just need to do my own makeup on set, I think.
Yeah.
Which is why I love shooting for Owen, because he's like, bring your own lingerie, you know, do your own hair and makeup, like wear whatever makes you feel sexy. Because I feel like I'm good at doing my own shit. Like I know it looks good on me. Yeah. I know that like I don't look good with heavy makeup. I look good with like the natural you know,
you look
the natural
so
lashes
like,
and the
those
fucking.
pictures are so pretty.
Wait until you see the ones from my new scene, because
wait, you posted about this, right?
with me in small hands. The girls gonna love this. The hoes gonna love this. It was
wait, was it a threesome?
No,
not. It was just you and small hands.
Not yet.
It was.
But okay, so the reason why this scene was just me and small hands was because I got invited to a Brazzers party last summer, and Small Hands was there, and so we were chatting because you know, we'd followed each other on Twitter and we'd like interacted and met each other a couple times, I think, and so we were talking and hanging out, and I was like, oh my god, let's send a picture to Owen, like, because I had just shot with him like a month or two before. And I was like, I sent Owen a picture of me in Small Hands. I was like, threesome ? And he was like, haha, yeah, totally. Like, let's, you know, I'll be back in LA shooting in the spring. Like, let's set something up. And I was like, cool, shot my shot. Let's see what happens. So then a little while later, he texts me and is like, hey, like, I would love to book you for a scene again, but he was like, I mentioned like a threesome to Small Hands, but he told me that he wants you to himself first and to see how that goes, and then we can talk about a threesome. I was like, I guess I could be down for that.
Yeah, if you insist,
I guess it would be fine. So that finally happened. I was supposed to be in like April or May originally, but I got sick, so I couldn't do it. And then my like test, I was gonna power through even though I was dying and sick, because I was like, I can't fucking cancel. Like this will never happen, even though I was fucking dying. But then my test results didn't come back in time, so I was like, okay, I actually have to cancel.
The universe.
Yeah, it was meant. Yeah, it was exactly. And so
wait, was it like good?
Bestie,
what?
It was so good. No. It was so good. Like I was definitely nervous because I wanted to go. I wanted it to go so well, but it was amazing. He was great. He was so professional and like just.
I've heard that about him. I've always heard that. Oh,
he's so good.
Really professional.
For sure. It was like a combination of him like, you know, wanting to like worship me, but also like doming me a little bit. It was like the perfect combination of, he was like, I just want to make you feel good, and I just want to like, I want this to be about you. And I was like, do you and Joanna need a dog? Because I can bark. Because I can sleep on the foot of your bed. Literally, I'm like, can you guys adopt me? So can I please?
I think Joanna Angel is so beautiful.
She's an OG queen.
I personally, like, they're both legends, but I've consumed much more of her content than I have Small Hands.
Because we're gay as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. After he and I fucked, I like religiously just watched Small Hands porn, like for like a week after.
Have you masturbated to your scenes?
Oh, every single one. If the chemistry is good and like if I had genuinely had a good time, in that experience, oh, absolutely.
I mean, why wouldn't you? Like that happened to you.
Literally, like what is
I was there.
What is better than watching porn and like. It's one thing to like watch porn of someone else and imagining that to you in the experience. And then it's another thing to watch porn of you and relive that experience, but also get to imagine that it's you in the situation again and again. And you're like,
we're gonna end this podcast. I'm gonna go masturbate right now.
So anyways, start flicking the bean.
Okay, plug talk. Hey, we found a podcast name.
Wait, oh my god, that's so unique and original. What? Do you think that's taken already?
So, what has been your favorite scene that you've done? Also, we could like totally lift this.
I kind of like it. It's like an arm wrestle a little bit.
Yeah.
My favorite scene of all time. Fuck, I don't know. Honestly,
Fleek.
Oh my queen, I'm gonna queen.
This is why we're doing this podcast, so that we can.
I hope whoever edits this pees their pants laughing at us.
No, we're literally leaving that in.
If you were fucking a girl and her sex noises were, oh my freaking queen, would you continue to have sex with her? Yes or no?
I would. Just kidding.
Could you tune out the freaks, would you like it?
Can I just say something? And I'm not trying to be like rude, but I will say that sex noises are a big deal to me.
Oh,
like if I'm not
you know when there's a bad one.
If I'm not attracted to someone's sex noises,
I'm out.
I can do it. I can finish the job because I'm a professional. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing: when a girl's attractive enough, it doesn't matter.
No,
to
I'm
me.
like you can literally sound like. Well,
I kind of sound like a man. I should cut this out. Do I sound like a man? Did what I say, was that problematic?
What if you are hot enough, you can literally do whatever you want? No, I feel the exact same way. If you're hot, you can be the worst person in the world. No, I'm just kidding. No, you can't be racist or transphobic or fatphobic because then I won't fuck you.
But you could literally. If your hobby is stepping on frogs, it's okay.
No animal abuse. No, that's bad too. If you're sexy, I'll let you whatever you want, goddess. Like,
yes, goddess.
Will
we ever get sponsors on this?
Immediately demonetized.
Okay.
Sorry.
Bad bitches cough when they laugh.
It's us. We're bitches.
Okay, I feel like there's so many things that I want to dive in deeper, but I feel like this is a great intro into like your story. Is there any part of your story that we feel like, or that you feel like you haven't touched on yet that we need to add to provide context? I mean, this is the first of many, so we have time.
Do we want to get deep?
Yeah, let's get deep.
Okay.
Let's get deep.
So deep. In the fall, I had something not chill happen with a male creator.
Yeah.
This was in the summertime, end of summertime, before we went to Europe. And that made me really evaluate my entire career because I was super burnt out. I had spent probably the last like year or two straight shooting scenes every other day, every week, shooting nonstop. And I literally had been working for 5 years straight. Like that spring was XBiz in Miami, and I won BBW.
Yes, you did.
Premium social media, which is like OnlyFans.
You won Bad Bitch of the Year.
Best Fat Bitch of the Year award.
Wait, what? I didn't say fat.
I said it.
I thought you thought that I said it. I was like, yeah, she won Fat Bitch of the Year.
I'm just adding that for a little spice because it's true. It was BBW of the fucking year.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck it was. I have the award in my house. So I won that. And then my Owen Gray scene came out. Like I was scheduled to shoot for Brazzers. I was like, we're peaking. Like this is my peak of my career. And so after that, some shit went down. I was feeling really burnt out. We went to Europe. We had a great old time. And then I kind of came home and I was like really depressed for some reason, thinking about like getting back to work. And I was like, I feel like it's because I had kind of been so focused on getting to a certain place in my career that I was working nonstop and I just like was not prioritizing myself and like me as a person outside of work.
You were prioritizing Leila Lewis, the brand.
Absolutely.
And not the human.
Exactly. So I kind of had like a big realization. It was like it really hit me like in the winter. I remember I went to this like wellness retreat with Pineapple Sport.
Yeah.
And I just cried the whole time. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like who am I outside of this job? And so after that, I was like, I need to make a plan to like really get back in touch with myself.
Yeah.
And I wanted to feel good, like physically and mentally. And I like got like a new gym membership. I started like going
Which you've
to
been so consistent with.
Absolutely.
Slaying.
Which like not for any other reasons than to like better myself.
No, her booty's getting fatter.
Better my mental health. Stop it.
I'm sorry, I'll stop. I'm like,
we're trying to be body positive here. No, I'm just kidding.
Her booty's getting fatter. That's a fact. I love it.
No, I know it's true. But yeah, I feel like I feel like I have to justify working out because as a fat bitch, people are like,
no.
So you want to be skinny now? I'm like, did I say that?
You don't have to justify.
First of all, I will never be skinny. But also, yeah, I literally like working out is just good for you. It makes me feel good.
Mental health.
I like to sweat and I like to fucking not be heavy breathing when I walk up the stairs.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Who doesn't want to like feel good in their body and in their brain, you know?
Yeah.
So I started doing that. I started just kind of like taking breaks from work and I stopped working for probably 8 months. I did not collab at all, like most of this past year until recently, because I was getting really anxious and it was just not really fun for a while. So I took a break from just really actively shooting and obviously I still would shoot for the occasional company here and there. And people wanted to book me. If like somebody really cool wanted to collab with me, I would get tested for them. And you know, people that I was really comfortable with, I was like, okay, I'll start shooting.
You were able to be like choosier rather than just like pumping out content.
Yeah, in the spring, I was like, okay, we can dip our toe back into collabing again. But I also was very inspired by you and your journey into becoming a dom, and that was always something that kind of interested me. I just didn't really know like how to start it.
And you're killing it. You are just like natural dommy mommy.
Thank you, queen. I feel like it's been a natural progression like in my interest in life.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when a few men have wronged me, I'm like, bet, let me like change everything that I'm into sexually and like also capitalize off of it. And it's been really good. Like, it's fun.
The situation that happened with this male performer, which you can get into as much as you want to or as little as you want to. Do you feel like that kind of pushed you in the direction of like, okay, I want to focus on dom content?
Absolutely.
Because was it like you want to take your power back kind of, or were you like, I just don't want to be in this position again?
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit of both. Like
my heart, literally, I don't know why my heart just started hurting like thinking about it. Like
I know.
Like my chest is like pounding. I just got a random shock in my chest.
It's been a lot.
If you would like to share anything, totally do. Like I said, if not, we can cut anything out.
Yeah, I just don't want to get into all of it. It's a lot.
Yeah, we don't have to.
But sorry, my fucking eyelashes keep sticking together.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, where I was like, men have really treated me like trash in the past. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah. And
that just kind of like flipped a switch in me where I was like, okay, it's mommy time.
Yeah.
And
mommy is back.
It's like, I was seeing a person at the time who was very into like the mommy stuff, and that kind of like,
was it Vegan Boy?
Yes. Yeah, it like was something really new for me, and I kind of got to like experiment with that a little bit with this guy, and I really liked it. And it was still like very new, and I feel like I'm still learning a lot, and like it's all, you know,
it's a whole new world.
Absolutely. But yeah, it just unleashed something in me, and yeah, I was like, I think I really want to put a lot more energy into dom content, because I've had a lot of fans that have been wanting this kind of content from me for a while, and I just was like, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, it's a lot of work. I don't know if people will really like it.
Yeah.
And as soon as I started making tweets that were like, are you mommy's good boy? And like,
you're like, yeah, I am mommy's good boy.
I'm like, oh, I just want like a good boy to like sit in my lap so I can edge him while he moans and whimpers. And like the feedback from that was like astronomical.
Feral.
People are like, oh my God, this hot girl with giant tits is now being mommy. Like,
holy shit.
Yes, please. So that was
I wish
surprisingly
that we could do like a
unexpected.
professional dom scene together.
Wait, you and me?
Yes.
Where I'm your mommy?
Or something.
Like we're
Yeah.
two of like I'm doming you?
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
Wait, I'm so down.
But we should do like
I feel like we should co-top someone too.
We should. Oh, for sure. But we should save this for like a production.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, well,
let's pitch it to Kink.
Okay. I mean, I don't know nothing about them.
I'll talk to
my people will talk to your people.
Yeah. Be like, hi, we're best friends.
Imagine.
Could you imagine your pro porn debut with kink.com and it's just me?
I used to watch them when I was like,
it's just me
school,
force feeding you my tits.
Yeah.
And,
I can imagine.
And tying you up and like.
Okay. In all seriousness, I have seen you in the last like 2 years really come into yourself, step into your power, take that power back, and I'm so proud of you.
Thanks,
I think
Queen.
that you're someone who's super dedicated, and you do what you put your mind to. If you decide I'm gonna go to the gym all the time, you're gonna do it. If you decide I'm gonna do this in my career, you do it. Like, you are driven, and you're one of the most consistent people that I fucking know, and I love you so much.
I love you.
And I think that your journey is really inspiring because
I'm
you're
about
kind
to
of
cry.
like, don't cry. You're kind of like at this point to where it's like a full circle moment where like, stop, don't cry. Where like
we've just been crying.
You started like in this industry as like kind of like vulnerable and like just navigating it, and now you're at this place where like you have the power. You're taking your power back. You're able to like speak about things that hurt you, and I just think it's really inspiring to a lot of people.
Thanks.
And a lot of bad bitches out there and fat bitches out there.
You honestly, yeah. And I hope that like if I have done nothing else in this journey but to like inspire other like big bitches to just like live authentically and like be confident and horny and like, I don't know, just be yourself and trust that what's meant for you is gonna happen. And like, if you want to fucking do something, you literally can. Like, we're
delusional as fuck.
You can literally do, and we're literally sitting on a floating rock right now. You can do anything that you want. It's true. Like what was that TikTok that we saw where it was like when you're just like sitting at home and you're sad and then you realize that you can literally just change your life in an instant.
Yeah.
And that's why we book spontaneous flights to Berlin.
Yes.
That leave in 24 hours and
I'm staying away from Berlin for the rest of my life.
And we go across the country in the blink of an eye. And we literally haven't even booked the rest of our trip to Europe, and we leave in 3 weeks.
We need to fucking do that. But no, seriously. And like, you might not have been in the position to make these choices when you were 18, but but every part of your story that you just shared led to you being able to make these decisions.
It's very true.
That's so cool.
I'm really proud of my my fucking little 21 through 25-year-old ass who worked her butt off in this job and made a lot of money so that we can go be degenerates in Croatia.
I'm incredibly proud of you. Is there anything else that...
I love you.
I love you so much. I love you. Thank you,
my queen.
Is there anything else that you want to share? I feel like you should definitely tell the people where to find you, because we did not even mention that, but we will put it in the description. Maybe hype up what you're working on, anything that you want them to hear. And this is the first of many episodes. There's so many things that I want to dive in with you, but we would be talking for 5 hours. And
literally,
so,
this is the start of the Leila story.
This is the start of the...
You guys are getting the backstory right now. I feel like it's very important. You gotta know a little bit about us before we start on this journey with you all.
Start giggling with you.
And just, sorry, I got too silly.
Yeah.
We're just silly gooses. So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at only Leila Lewis. ONLYLEILALEWIS. Only Leila Lewis on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find my Dom Twitter is at I Want Leila. My main website, which is my OnlyFans, is onlyleila.com.
Check it out. I'm personally subscribed.
We're both subscribed to each other.
And I love seeing your posts.
Yeah, same.
Next level.
I woke up this morning and I opened my feed and just saw her twerking.
Oh, and it was good,
and
right?
It made my day. What else? I'm on all the sites. If you go to my Twitter, you'll find all my links and my wish list and my all of the...
And spoil her, because she obviously likes Amazon packages.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Yep.
But yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, no,
this was a great...
I know.
Great
I had
first
so much
epi.
fun.
I can't wait to talk about you now.
I'm terrified.
Do we have to take a potty break?
I think we gotta take a potty break. I'm gonna change into something comfy because honestly, my story...
We're like business cash right now.
Yeah, which is great.
But we need to get feral.
Yeah, it's my story is gonna...
I love your story.
We will see you next week. We don't know the name of this podcast.
On the beep podcast. Thanks for listening to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much. Make sure that you're subscribed wherever you're listening. Make sure to follow us. We're gonna make social media accounts. We're gonna make TikTok accounts. We're gonna
leave a review. You can listen to us anywhere that you can listen to podcasts. I don't know. I just heard one of my podcasts that say that. I don't know if that's true actually.
And thank you so much for
horny.
listening to the Logan Paul podcast.
The Impulsive
Podcast. Bye.
I'm horny.
Okay.